Okay, here's a quick video on how to repair a small piece of Cornish agricultural hedge. You will need a wheelbarrow, a bar, a shovel, a sledgehammer and a lump hammer. And you can see what's happened here. Over time it has subsided. There's a piece I've already done. I'm going to show you how to do this bit. First job is to clear everything away. See you at the next segment. Right, as you can see, I've cleared it away. Watch your toes when you're doing that. I've got all my stones laid out here so I can see all the different shapes. Now, it's always a question with this old agricultural hedging, how far do you go? As you can see, it's not, keep it that way, it's not a very straight hedge at all. Now, if I was going to rebuild this anew, I would dig all these out and reset grounders in. As you can see, this bit's all bowed out as well. But again, it's a question of how far do you go. So we give it the old wobble test. It's pretty solid down there. That's pretty solid. That's pretty solid. They're a bit loose. Might get rid of them. Might reset that. We'll see how we go. Also, watch stuff like this when you're working underneath, because they come out and hit you on the head. It's happened to me before. Right, see you at the next segment. Alright, I decided to pull that one out because I got this one here, which will be a suitable grounder. A grounder is a large stone which you put near the bottom of a hedge or the ground, and it grounds the hedge. And whereas once upon a time I may have lifted that up and built it into the hedge a bit higher, my back is no longer par excellence. So it's going to go in there. See ya. Right, there's a hole dug. This big stone here is going to go in there. But the basic premise of it is that if you have the stone below ground, the bottom of it can't push out. So set it in. Right, let's get this big bugger in. Right, there she is. She's in. You can see she's below ground level. She's got a nice wide base tying her back into the edge. And from here across, you can see he's roughly in line there. In an ideal world, I'd have this out here if I was setting a new edge, but that is solid. I can't get that to move even with a bar. So she's going to stay there. For structural integrity, we'll put a large tie-in over the top of that. And I'll show you that in a sec. Right, you can see I've got a bit of a flat base there now. Lining up. Here's a nice tie-in stone. So I'll chuck him up there. Oh. A bit hard to do this holding the camera, but never mind. Right. So that's where the strength goes. Goes back into the, here's a face line here. Like I say, that one, if it was a new edge, I'd bring that out properly, but we're patching up, so it'll be alright. So we got that one tying right back in there, so that's going to be really important, especially when we got a little bit overhang here. Alright. Next stage, when you're building an edge, is you want to try and build a level each time, roughly. Doesn't have to be exact, but... And this is edged with a bit of a identity crisis. It's predominantly dry stone, but over the years, the plant matter's grown up and rotted, so there's a lot of earth here too. So I start filling this with stone, and then I'm going to get my shovel in a minute and pack in all the earth around as best I can. And the most important aspect of any edge is to beat it in tight behind, as tight as you can, over and over again. That way there should be no voids in it and nowhere for the rain to get in and wash the soil out, which is what usually causes the entropy of time to collapse the hedge. Right, so you've got yourself a nice level surface to build off. I've got a bit of space down the bottom there, so probably between that joint and that joint there, I want something to go in nice time back. So over your stones, I can see something here. There's a big in there, but I'll probably have him in a bit higher. that's got a nice face there. So the face is the bit of the stone that will be showing in the hedge. I'll pull this over a minute. That's the face. That's what's going to be shown, and then this bit here will be built back into the hedge, which will tie it in and give it strength. So again, there is a slight batter on him, so he sticks out more at the bottom here, so I know that's the top. So he's going to go in next. Dinner. So there he is. There's the face. We're breaking this joint here, so we're giving strength there instead of having a joint running all the way up, and he's tied back in nicely onto the hedge. So now it's just a process of repeating. Try and break the joints, bring it up, try and keep the level. If you're just starting, you might want to put a line from here to there. After a while, you don't really need the line, your eye just does it automatically. But if you're starting off, a line is very helpful. So we'll do that, build the faces up again, and then pack in behind as solid as we can. Probably should have just filmed that, but I just made a face out of this one. I like it because it's got nice tying back into the head, so it's going to have strength. And the face of it was originally at an angle like that. So with a few taps of the hammer, it does take a bit of getting used to, but you can make yourself some straight faces. Might film some directly if I remember. Right, coming up another level there. You can see there's a hell of a batter on that bit there. I'm going to build that in as we come up. So you always want your edge, so level's here somewhere. You always want your edge to go back in. So this will come back in, and then you'll straighten up with this at the top, hopefully, as soon as we're patching in. Also, build into this corner bit, I'm going to have to find some sort of, I don't know, wedge shaped, like a slice of cartoon cheese or pizza or something like that, to make that look right with the faces, but I'll see about that. Coming up, boy. Right, there he is, that'll do. He's close enough there. That angle there is going to be a bit of a pig, but we'll try our best, see what we can do. And build that up, and then we'll have to have a big tie in there, because probably not the best thing to do. There's a join running all the way up there where I'm joining in. So on top of this, that's what I'm saving this lovely big one for. Here, I'll put this one up. Oh, yeah. Right, you can see the shape of that. There's a bit too much of a gap there. So what I'm going to do is trim the back of this off, and hopefully have something in between to make it look a bit tidier. I'll put it down. I don't know how well it's going to work with one hand, but we'll see. So I've got something like it, and then we just want to tidy that line up there. That ain't too bad. That bit there, I might want to. Pretty hard to do this holding our phone at the same time. We'll get there. Right. So now we've got a nice straight join there. So that can go up in there. Go either way, really. Got tight that way. It does fit quite nicely that way too. I might have to trim that off and put a gap in there. Nice. You're going to want a nice. Something like that, but as far back into the edge as possible for strength. Right. Alright, coming up a bit more here. I should show you what most of the hedging's about. So you can see that gap there. Don't use a tape measure. Which may sound counterintuitive at first, but the more you practice with your eye, the more you'll find something that'll fit in the gap. Alright, and every stone has a face, allegedly, and you're always trying to look for a level, so that's not far off a level there. I think we can get away with that. You know, maybe you could go a bit tighter here, but at the end of the day it is agricultural edging. So yeah, when you're looking for a stone, look over the pile and let your eye try and catch them. It takes a bit of practice, but the more you do it, the more you'll be able to pick something out which will be suitable. So I don't think that's going to go in there, but he might do with a bit of trimming. Who knows? But yeah, there's another tip. Turn around, look for something, and bang, there we go. And that will be a pretty good fit. There we are, that's the eye. Right, because I got that join up, going up like that, I want to say, that's why I say this big tying in one for, so we'll give it the strength. This is where your sledgehammer is going to come in handy. It'll be easier than doing it with a lump. I want to trim that corner off there, because this here is going to be the face. So if I put it up like it is, I'm going to have to find a really awkward shaped stone to have a nice face showing. So I want to trim that off there. So there's no way I'm going to do this with one hand, so I'll have to cut. Right, there we go. Now, flip it back over. You've got a face there. And, he's heavy enough, this one, for me. This stage. I should try and show you. I don't think I'm strong enough to do this one now. There. Got a nice edge to join into now. So that's going to go up there. I might need to dig the back out a little bit more. We'll see. Right. Another quick tip on them here. If you've got a big stone like this and you're not sure how far, I don't think that's going to be far off. If you get a shovel, Cornish shovel, long handled shovel, best shovel ever invented. Mark up, I would leave like an inch over the back, something like that. Hold your hand, let's say, so that'll give you the length. And then where are we to here? I reckon I might just have to take that stone out there and she should slide up. There you are, there's another tip. Right, there we have it. So you can see the strength that that's going to give the edge by tying back in, because we've got this seam running up there. Otherwise that would continue to be a weakness and a weak point in the edge. Right, I'm going to do a bit of building now before I film again. So I'll see you at the next segment. Okay, so we're coming up now. You can sort of see the shape that I've built back into. So as we come up now, this angle here is going to straighten up and hopefully come, well, the further it comes back to here somewhere. Again, it's a question of how far do you go with these old edges. I could have taken all that out, could have taken that bulge out, gone back to here, but if it's all structurally sound and you're just patching up and it's not like your front garden wall, I don't see a problem with it. You look at all these old ones, they're bulges and stuff everywhere. And besides, I prefer spirals and curls to straight lines anyway. Quick point about the earth, before I forget. For some unknown reason, you would think that whatever came out of a hole would go back into it. That would be the logical answer, but for some reason it never does. So as you can see, I'm getting pretty low on earth fill, even though I'm using up the small stones to pack in behind as well. Such that as here's a void underneath there. That needs to be packed. And you want to have, ideally, sort of fine earth so it can go into the voids and you can pack it in tightly. This stuff here is not so good because it's clumpy and it doesn't, it's gonna warp and change shape over time. So you're looking for that fine stuff. I might have to dig a hole to find some more earth, but that's something to bear in mind if you're patching up yourself. Bring a couple of wheelbarrows or trailer or whatever you got. It's always handy. So this is what I mean about pulling the angle in all the time. Across there. The level is hit back here somewhere. And that's sort of running up to keep the curve. I just want to pull the curve back in as I go up. So I'm just going to set them back in somewhere like that. So you can sort of see on that end stone there, just sticking out a bit further. So he's coming back in nicely as he comes up. One more tip here. You can see they're just coming up now. And for the fill, if you've got a stone that's like that and has a nice face on it, don't use it for fill. Use your offcuts. Yeah. And any ugly face stones, anything round or horrible, make sure it goes in behind. That ain't up to much really. Maybe you could go in that way, but we'll chuck them in behind. So there you are. There's another tip. Right on. Right, all patched up, finished. That should hopefully see me when I'm long in the grave. Solid, ain't gonna go nowhere. You know, a few little bits. If you were doing it brand new, wouldn't do that. But for patching in, that's fine. I'm happy with the structural integrity of that, and I like having a bit of character. So I'm happy with that. I think I started this about, let's have a look here, about 11:30. What's it now? About 2 hours, hour and a half, something like that, whatever. That's not too bad. Alright, I hope this video's helped you, and good luck.